Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Play Some Video Games. It is I, your host, Kevin, welcoming you to the only video game podcast that fully endorses and supports EA's right and decision to go ahead and make a profit off. I'm just kidding. We hate EA too right now, but we'll get to that later on. It is I, your host, Kevin. As I said, we want to thank you for joining us each and every week and spending just a little bit of time with us, or a lot of bit of time if you listen to all the shows we have to offer now. But I can't do it alone. And with me on this journey this evening, this dynamic duo, if you will, the Robin to my Batman, is Mr. Donnie Reese. Sir, how are we doing tonight?
Greetings, Koopalings. Doing pretty good. Been a fun week. I'm glad it's Friday.
Oh, yes.
Had a long week. I'm gonna have an even shorter weekend. We're if you didn't know, we're blowing up a dome on Monday morning.
Oh, that's right.
So I've been doing most of that all week. So like that's a big deal for us. So I've been busy this week, and I report Monday morning at 3 a.m.
I mean, it's got to be really cool to see, though.
Actually, I think where I'm from, where I'll be positioned, I don't actually think I'll be able to see it.
But that's a terrible idea. You shouldn't go.
It's got to be one of those things, right, where if something bad happens, you can't have all of your people that you expect to fix the bad thing from happening.
That's true.
In the area where the bad thing happened.
I guess that's true, but that takes all the fun out of it. You're like, why else would I get up for 3 a.m.? Just stay home and sleep, and they can call you if something terrible happens and you have to fix it, you know? Anyway, so yes, everybody, thank you for listening to the podcast. Let's jump right into it. It's just me and Donnie this week. We figure we have some Black Friday shopping ideas and suggestions and discussion for everybody out there. Donnie's done quite a bit of shopping already, but we'll get to that later. So first, let's check in. What have you been up to, man? What have you been playing? Any cool stories other than blowing up domes? You know, take it away, sir.
I got a couple good stories. I got one story that I was going to tell Nintendo Shack, and it just didn't come up. And it has nothing really to do with what I've been playing or what we're going to talk about tonight, but I just wanted to bring it up because I don't think it's one of those things where we often forget and don't think that it happens when it happens all the time. I mentioned on the podcast a few weeks ago, my in-laws are about to enter their retirement life, and they purchased this cabin, like this retirement getaway home, and they're outfitting it, and they're so excited. They're planning on a big family Thanksgiving and Christmas there, and we've got folks coming in from all over the country, and it's a big deal for them, and as it should be. I mean, they've earned the nice retirement that they're going to have. So my mother-in-law called me about Sunday or Monday. I think it was Monday. I was working, so Monday, and she goes, "Hey, I've got a question. I think you're the perfect person for me to ask." I said, "Sure, what's up?" She goes, "Well, we have all the grandkids are going to come to the cabin, and we want to get like a video game for them, that they can play." She goes, "But we don't want anything that has to hook up to the internet." She's like, "We don't want to pay a monthly fee, and our internet, the cabin is real remote. Like the internet is, the cell phone signal actually is almost nothing up there." So they're like, "We don't want anything like that." And I said, "Well, funny you should ask. Nintendo just released a console that's perfect for you. It's called the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic." I was like, "That's perfect. It's exactly what you need." And she goes, "That's great. Where can I find one?" And I was like, "That's the problem." It's like, they're going to be kind of hard to find. I was like, they're $80. I was like, but this is kind of a hot ticket holiday item. And I was like, and if you want, let me watch around, and I'll get you one. Like they'll go up between now and the holidays. And I was like, I'll get you one, and you just pay me back. She was like, "That's great." She called me an hour later. She's like, "I looked on Amazon. It was $150, so I just bought one. So thanks anyway." There are people out there that just don't. There are people out there that just don't care.
I mean, at least that wasn't. I mean, yes, it's overpriced, but at least it wasn't super crazy.
It wasn't $500, sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, that stinks, but it could have been a whole lot worse. So yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I just wanted to remind everybody out there that we whine over like, "Oh, they marked it up $25 and included a Zelda lamp," and it's like there are plenty of people out there that'll gladly, what's $50,
It's true.
What have I been playing this week? Well, I've been playing my Xbox One X. I've been enjoying it. I have noticed some interesting things happening to that Xbox One X, and it might be that I'm enrolled into the beta program, but I don't think so. The more and more Xbox adopts its PC nature, the more and more their box basically is just a PC, and I'm running into PC-like things that I don't really like on my console.
Windows updates every 10 seconds?
No, not that. Like glitchy weirdness. It's like I'm trying to start games and it just never starts, and I just get like this error. It's like, this game took too long to start, so we're shutting it down. And it's like, what? It's a console. This should never happen. Or like I had this weird thing when I was playing Rise of the Tomb Raider. Anytime I hit the Windows button, like the Xbox button on the controller to bring up the little Windows side panel, the screen would glitch. It would just like, it would do like this blinking black like thing like over and over again. And I recorded some of it, and ooh, uh-oh. Are you watching the chat?
No.
Gabriella Austin, hi, Dad.
Oh, God.
And now it says message retracted.
It's like, whoops.
But so I've been running into some, not a lot, but enough, which kind of I wanted to use as my segue into the game that I have been playing mostly in this past week, and that's Mafia 3. Now, you said you want to play this game.
I own it. I just haven't gotten around to it. This is one of those titles that I bought, and it's just like Watch Dogs 2. It's been sitting in my binder of games forever, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I did play Mafia 2. Loved Mafia 2. Thought it was really good. Room for improvement, sure, but it was a great foundation of something that could be better. So I picked up Mafia 3 a while ago, pre-owned, I think for like $8 or $10. I got it real cheap. So it's just been sitting there, though, and that's the downside.
Nice. I got Mafia 3 and actually a bunch of games. I bought like 4 or 5 games that were Xbox One X enhanced. And I was like, I bought the console. I want to see what it can do. So I went and pulled up the list, and I just found like some old games that are going to get updates, and I just bought a bunch of used copies. Mafia 3 was one of them. And Mafia 3 is an interesting game, my friend. It's a glitchy mess. And and it's like it's kind of like in the best way. You know, like it's interesting. So to put it into words, I enjoy playing it. It's a lot of fun to play. It's got that Grand Theft Auto hook.
Right.
Not like Grand Theft Auto 5 though. See, that's the thing. If Grand Theft Auto 5 had never come out, Mafia 3 would be amazing. Like, people would love it. But Grand Theft Auto 5 came out and blows Mafia 3 out of the water. Mafia 3 reminds me of like, it's like somebody tried to riff on like Grand Theft Auto, like Vice City, or like, you know, like Grand Theft Auto 3. It's like it's an old formula that they've redone with like new graphics, but you're very much doing like the stuff that you would do in the old GTA games. Like, go over here and interrogate this guy, you know, go kill this crime boss and take over that racket. You know, it's like, it's very Godfather. It feels old. Like, what you're doing is old school. You know, it's nothing new. It's not elaborate. There's not there's no, you know, there's no like there's no complexity to what you're doing. You're just doing it. You're just, you know, you're taking out drug dealers and you're busting up bad guys, and it's very like, you know, go to the checkpoint, complete the task, come back, get the next checkpoint, go, you know, it's an old school flavor with the new graphics. But it is a glitchy mess. The first one that I encountered was I ran into a chair, and the chair fell down on the ground and just spun and never stopped. It just kept spinning and just kept making the chair sound that it was falling. And it kept doing it over and over again. The rain, like when it rains in the game, it never just like kind of rains. It just storms, and it never builds up to the storm. So like the clouds don't get dark and the wind doesn't pick up and you don't see leaves, and then it starts raining. Like, it just starts raining out of nowhere. It's like this beautiful Sunday day. And just I feel like the patch that they did was try to make it look really pretty. So like all the cars and everything are really shiny. Like the bloom and the glare off of like the wet streets is real shiny. But it's funny because I've seen those textures pop in. So I'll be driving this dull matte car, and then halfway down the street, it just pops and it's real shiny. It's like, what is going on with this game? That said, I'm still playing it. It's kind of fun. If you like that open world GTA game, like if at any point you were like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play one of those old classic Grand Theft Auto games, right? Like on PlayStation, back and pad or something. Don't do that. Buy Mafia 3. It'll be better, because those old games don't, you know, like the emulation and whatnot's not good. No. So at least then, now you can get that same experience, but with some modern visual style that won't like drive you nuts and all that. And the controls are better. But my favorite part about the game even though I am the youngin here at PSVG, I do have that old soul when it comes to music, and the soundtrack in Mafia 3 is fantastic. It's one of the best soundtracks I've ever had in a game. And if anybody out there is listening to this and they're like me and they love just like combing around Vice City, like jamming the radio, just driving and like chilling out, Mafia 3 is perfect for that. There's so much to do in that game. You can just go get collectibles. You can kind of like hack the city. If you find these little fuses, you can go to fuse boxes and like wiretap the city. So you can just drive around and totally listen to like the Stones and Creedence Clearwater Revival, and just all that kind of old stuff, like very bluesy stuff. It's really, really, really good. I really, really enjoy it. So I've been doing that a lot, to be honest with you. Almost 90% of what I've played this week, which hasn't been a whole lot, but it's been a lot of that. And it's really just kind of me like vegging out. I think I looked up a walkthrough. I'm about halfway through it. I'm not sure how much I'm going to keep playing because now I just got a bunch of new games to play. But I mean, it was worth the $9 that I spent on it. I bought it on Amazon for $9, brand new. I was like, okay, let's see what this 4K looks like for $9. And yeah, just driving around, I'm telling you, man, like just Otis Redding and the Supremes. You know, like just Elton John. It's a great soundtrack. It is better than like the old GTAs for sure. Like so the old GTAs, you know, they had, you know, a couple hits.
Yeah.
But it was like those talk show radios and the stuff that they did in house was the best. This is just the music. Like you very rarely have I changed the channel. Like it doesn't matter what I'm listening to, it's all good. So I'm just kind of enjoying. I'm just hanging out. I'm cruising around, listening to music, hacking fuse boxes, you know, taking out the occasional drug dealer. The alligator animation is also terrible. If you throw people in the bayou, like this just splashy, glitchy mess happens in the water, and you kind of see the resemblance of an alligator, and it goes away. And it's just like it's. I'm telling you, it's weird. It's like it's like they took a game. It's like they took source code from 2008, and then like 1080p'd it. They called it a new game.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy it. I hope you play it because at least I'm having fun.
Yeah, I'll get to it eventually. The only problem is I don't know if I'll get into it right away because right now I'm still playing Watch Dogs 2. So for me, it's going to be, yes, they're in different time periods, but it's going to be too similar of a game, I think, to play back to back. It's still the open world mission based. Go here, do that.
I'll say especially because Watch Dogs is probably a lot better. Like the polish and everything that you're going to come to us, you know, to expect is probably much, much better than this game.
Yeah, it's so far I haven't had any issues overall. There's been like a couple of glitchy animations with some of the NPC characters and stuff like that, but I mean overall it's a really smooth and good looking game. So I'm not having any issues there with that. You
know, and it's also what I was gonna say is that not only does it like got that old school flavor to it, especially with its glitchiness, but it's also like it is repetitive. You know, like you do like just go kill the guy, come back, go kill the next guy, go to the strip club and kill all the guys, you know, go to the, you know, the fort and kill those guys. Like it's very kind of, I think what I'm trying to say is I think the reviews for the game, you remember the game got kind of hit over the head quite a bit.
Yeah,
I think
totally.
it's fair. I really do. Like compared to modern video games, it's not that good. Doesn't mean it's not fun though. Like it's one of those, like it doesn't do everything really well, but it's totally still very fun to play if you like that type, you know, if you just like the open world, you know, kind of game. It's fun.
All right. Anything else you've been playing, or that's it?
I've been playing a little Rocket League on the Switch. Me and the son have been playing that, and we just got my new Guardian amiibo cards, so we were going through those and getting armor sets and stuff like that. But not really. I'm just, you know, I was waiting for today, you know, like yesterday and today, to get a bunch of games for Black Friday, which we'll get into, and I'm getting real excited to just get started playing on those.
Cool. All right, then. So I'll go. As I mentioned, Watch Dogs 2. Not going to repeat anything there. I've been playing it, like it. It's good. A lot of fun hacking stuff. Probably in a very different manner than you do in Mafia 3.
It's like a button press. You just walk up to the box.
Yeah, we have some of that stuff, but I just bought the drone, so I now have like a flying drone I can send out to hack things and get into areas where I can't go on foot, so I'll get caught. And you have the little jumper RC car thing that does similar things too. So you have all that going on. Hopped back into Injustice 2 for a bit today because Hellboy came out, so I downloaded him to try him out. But more interesting to me is now that the Justice League movie is out, and I'm sure it's not going to be good despite what Nathan says. There are special events where you can unlock the armor sets for the Justice League so they can look like their movie counterparts, which I'm really only interested in the Batman set, so it looks like Batfleck, and the Aquaman one because Aquaman looks like a dork, so at least the Jason Momoa one looks a little bit more badass. So I kind of want that to go there too, although it means I'll have to play as Aquaman a lot, which I don't like using him, but whatever. Just kind of want some armor sets. Stardew Valley, man, I cannot put this stupid game down. And it's annoying because it's not like Animal Crossing where I'm like, oh, I enjoy playing this. I'm playing Stardew Valley pretty much daily, and I don't know why. Like there is somewhat of a story there, and you have kind of goals, but some of them take so long to do that you're playing, you know, a week or two virtually in the game before actually able to achieve that next milestone. So it's very, very slow. And some of your game days are just, I'm going to get up and water my crops, make sure I feed my chickens, and then I'm going right back to bed, like, because there's nothing going on. So I don't know, but I keep playing it. I guess just because it's mindless, but I know the second Animal Crossing hits, a real Animal Crossing hits, that thing's going away.
So the one that's coming out in like 5 days doesn't count?
No, because I've already been playing that, so I'm fine.
Are you going to do the multiplayer? Are you going to
start it?
Yeah, and let other people, are you going to farm with other folks?
I'll see what that's about when that drops. I'm not sure. So they've been talking about this for a while on PC. I'm not entirely sure that that's going to come to the Switch when it comes to PC. Same time?
I think so, yeah. They've really been marketing the multiplayer on Switch thing.
Okay. All right. So then, yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I know Seth has it. I think a couple other people have it too that have been playing it. So yeah, I'll probably dive in and check out what's going on. Like I said, I can't seem to put it down anyway, so it is what it is.
I think that might get me in the game sooner. You know, like if I can get like a small portion with somebody else and it's like, hey, Donnie, you're doing corn. Go, you know, I don't know how Stardew Valley works. I haven't seen it yet, but
it's not an easy game to learn. Like that's what I've noticed is like it takes you a while to kind of figure out. The game does not hold your hand at all saying like, hey, you should do this or you should go here and do this. Like it's just not that kind of game. It's sort of like you can do what you want. You could play this game for like a year straight and not accomplish a single goal because it doesn't make you. So cool. Yeah, it's just it's weird. It's weird in that aspect, but it's not bad by any means. It's just I don't know why I like it or why I'm playing it, and that's kind of irks me a little bit. And the last thing which I could talk about now is playing Battle Chef Brigade. So this was a game that was highlighted in the Nintendo Direct a while ago, kind of hyping it up, and it looked like a very Japanese Iron Chef kind of thing where you hunt monsters and then you cook them. And then you serve them up and you get ranked on them. So Adult Swim Games was kind enough to send us over a bunch of codes. So I got a bunch of the staff members playing that, but I'll be doing the official review with Justin Warner is coming back again to join us, which is going to be awesome. So depending on when you downloaded this, it's either going to be the podcast before this or the podcast after that. So we'll see how that goes. But definitely check it out. I will say, without getting into detail now, because we'll do it for an hour, is that I like it. It's good. It's definitely a unique twist because to kind of just set the stage for you a little bit, each competition. So there's a whole town, there's a whole story mode. Voiceover acting is really good, but there's a whole story aspect to it. But the actual gameplay is you'll face off against another chef, just like you do an Iron Chef. They unveil the ingredient. It's, you know, whatever this monster is, go cook, and they give you a timer. You then run off the side of the stadium out into the fields, and you actually have to hunt the animals you're going to chop up into pieces and cook them. So you're gathering ingredients, putting them in your bag, running back to the kitchen, and you can either cook them then, or you can stock your pantry and run back out and just keep going back and forth. You can do this as much or as little as you want to complete the dish, but the more ingredients you have, the more matches you make, the higher your score. Now, when you go to cook the ingredients, the game switches from a side-scrolling kind of beat-em-up to a match 3 puzzle game. So, yeah, it's very weird. So you get the ingredient, like, let's say it's steak, because I won't be able to name the monster. So you get steak, and the steak piece drops into your match 3 board, like 3 red and 1 blue. So then you rotate all the boxes on the screen to match up the 3s, and it multiplies and makes your dish, quote-unquote, better, giving you a higher score. So you can keep running back and forth, adding more ingredients as long as you keep making matches to kind of drop it down Tetris style. And then you're ranked at the end of that thing by score. So you have to serve your dish to the chef or the judge before your timer's up, and then they rank your dish against your opponent's dish, and that's that. So it is really odd. As we know at PSVG, that's my thing.
That's right down your alley. Yeah.
Yeah. So far, I like it. I'm going to give it more time. I only played about an hour and a half of it. So early on in, but I like it. It runs really well. I am playing it on PC though. Justin's playing it on Switch. So I will preface that. Not sure if that makes effect, but I did play it on my laptop and not my big gaming rig, and it still ran perfectly fine. So I think it's gonna be even better on my normal rig when I'm playing it there.
How much does it cost?
$19.99 is what it's going to launch on the Switch. So honestly, I think if Nintendo continues to kind of push it, they've been tweeting about it. The marketing team for Adult Swim Games has been tweeting a lot about it, doing a lot of special events. I think if the word gets out there, it's a great pickup for $20. I think it's another great indie hit they're going to have on their hands, and it's only available on Steam and Nintendo Switch. So you can't play on an Xbox, you can't play on PS4. So it's a good get. So, but tune in for more on that. All right, so let's jump right in then, Donnie, and move on to some questions. We got some listener questions as always. So it's time to check the messages.
Evan says you should be called Salty Chef now instead of Salty Kev.
That's true. That's true.
Salty Chef.
Salty Chef. Can't have too much salt in your dish, though. It just ruins it. So our first question comes in from Vinny, and it's simply, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food? So we got that coming up this week as you're listening to this episode. So, Donnie, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
It's a tough one. The best Thanksgiving food is probably the day after turkey sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of that hungover food coma turkey sandwich for breakfast or lunch. Like when you wake up and you scrap some of that turkey, maybe a little gravy, put it on that sandwich and nuke it. That's a real good experience. I don't know what I like the most at the dinner table. My in-laws are from Louisiana, so they're way into a lot of the Cajun stuff. So they do a lot of that at Thanksgiving, which I've never really been accustomed to. So it's not bad. It's just not my gig. Probably I really like, stuffing. Stuffing with gravy is always a big hit. I make a mean pumpkin pie. I make my own crusts out of pecans. And so I do like this glazed, grounded pecan flour crust, and then I make pumpkin pies on there. And it's always a big hit. The family really like it when I make those. So expensive. Bags of pecans at Thanksgiving, they're like $13 a piece.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Months in advance. But yeah, so just I don't know, stuff like that, traditional stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. For me, it's the day after. It always seems better. I'll give it that. I don't know what it is. You're not getting the same family experience as you are on Thanksgiving eating it, but it tastes better. But for me, it's odd. Something I've always liked since I was a kid. I was one of the few rare kids that like peas. Always like peas. I don't know why.
That sounds right.
Yeah, and it's true. But I like mixing them in with my mashed potatoes. So you got mashed potato, peas, some salt, salty gamer, and some butter there, and it's heaven. I love it. So I guess I'll go with that. Mashed potatoes and peas are my favorite. Ryan asks, this is the big elephant in the room here, boys and girls. EA games and Star Wars, am I right? That's it. Just, am I right? Yeah. So unless you've been under a rock this past week, EA Games is doing everything in their power to screw up Battlefront 2. It's just bad. So obviously we know about the loot boxes. We've talked about that before. The astronomical cost it would take if you were to purchase the loot boxes to just get a chance of getting something you might want. You still have to earn it even after unlocking it in the loot box on top of that. So somebody did the math, and it was going to cost something like a little over $2,000 to purchase enough loot boxes to get everything in the game. Or if you're the route that, hey, I'm not going to pay money, I'm just going to play this game and I'm going to earn them the hard way, that's fine. Quit your job, play the game for 40 hours a week for 2 years, and you will save up enough currency, in-game currency, to buy all these loot boxes. So your choice, everybody. So that kind of hit the internet. A representative of EA made a big mistake kind of addressing the internet, which is always a bad idea when you think about it, and basically told gamers they don't want any armchair developers telling them how to produce their game. So that, of course, got people riled up a little bit. And then last night, before the game actually launched, when you could pick up your pre-orders, they decided, hey, we're taking all the paid loot boxes away temporarily.
Right.
But
well,
then
they didn't take them away. They just turned off the money option.
Right. They turned. That's what I said. The paid ones are off.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
And then they release the press release saying they never meant for it to be this way, and they apologize.
That's the biggest issue that I took with it.
Yeah, because that's not an accident. An intern did not slip that in there, and
it was not our intent for this to happen. It's like, no, it was very much your intent. That's actually completely wrong. There's no element of truth to that statement.
Totally. So I'm pretty sure Mickey Mouse has put a hit out on the CEOs of EA to kind of take them out for kind of dredging the Star Wars license through the mud. And I think the biggest thing for me on this one, and then we'll get your thoughts, Donnie, is when they first showed this at E3, I was like, yeah, man, they apologized, said, hey, we know we kind of goofed on the last one, and we want to do it right. So we're giving you guys all the DLC for free. And fans were like, yes. And you're getting a story mode. Yes. And then this comes out and you're like, man, you screwed up the first one. You said you were going to fix it. And then you managed to screw it up again.
Oh yeah. They've completely done it.
And they're still hoping that people go out and buy this game. Now the reviews are, 75s. I think is what Metacritic has them at right now. So not terrible. Disappointing for a Star Wars game for sure. Visually, it looks great. I'll give it that. It looks good. But every gamer I know, other than a very select few in our circle here, are not buying it at all.
Other than Nathan.
Other than Nathan. Well, no, and Q got it too.
Yeah.
And Q had said he went to his GameStop and they even told him that they had 10 cancellations that day, and he was the only person there to pick it up when they opened. So to hand out the pre-order. So I was like, man, that is, for Star Wars too, a franchise that gets people to buy anything just because it's Star Wars.
Yep.
That low is very disappointing. And I know there's a lot of kids, not like us, I'm talking about young kids who are excited about this game. Like, cool, we're getting a good Star Wars game, that are, a little let down, or, they're asking their parents for it and the parents are asking questions about it. And I can't imagine somebody at GameStop, if a parent came and say, hey, my son wants this game, what do you think of this game? I can't see a GameStop employee being like, oh yeah, let's ring it up. Not at least mentioning like, hey, by the way, if they want it, because
another $200 after you buy it,
right? If they really want to play as Darth Vader, not gonna be easy for them. It's a shame. I think that's the biggest thing, is I'm actually just disappointed more than anything. And we know as parents, Donnie, the worst thing you can say to a kid is, I'm disappointed in you. I'm not mad at you. I'm disappointed in you, and that just hurts.
You've really let me down.
Yeah, EA, I'm disappointed in you. So that's my thoughts. I wish there was some way they could fix it, but now at this point, they just can't. For me, they can't. What about you?
They've really screwed up their little licensing deal. I mean, it's amazing to think how much goodwill they had when they first showed us, and how much they've just shoved it into the dirt. I mean, they are Cleveland Brownsing Star Wars right now. I mean, like, fans of the series are just like, oh, I guess I'll show up. It's so when we see The Last Jedi this winter, when my kids get all excited and they come home and they want to play Star Wars, we're just going to play last year's. We've got the collector's edition
or Lego. Play Lego Star Wars.
I mean, we can play with all the characters we want. Like, we'll just play that. Like, there's no reason. I mean, it's interesting. The 2 points that I'll make. The interesting thing is that, I played the beta with half of a lot of us that played the beta. That's what turned me off from it. I was like, it's just not doing it for me, so I'm not gonna get it. It had nothing to do with all these loot boxes and whatnot.
Right.
But the loot box part of it is what there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of different points that a lot of different people with different motives are trying to make out of this example. But I think what it all boils down to is, it feels greedy that you're charging a full price for a game and then nickel and diming on top of it, trying to get that much out of a game, when it's like, there's so many other ways to do it. If you're going to implement some sort of pay to win model like they have, then give the game away.
Yep.
Let people play it and then let them pay as they go the Animal Crossing route. Don't charge me $60 and then make me pay another $100 for Darth Vader. No, like, charge me, give it to me for free and let me pay you all that money, or let me pay the $60 and bypass all that. The fact that they were doing both and compounding it, I think that's what scares people with this loot box thing, right? Like, we've been talking about it for months. Everybody has. The whole industry's been talking about it. Yep. And you have all these people, I don't mind loot boxes and you don't have to buy them. And I don't think that's the point. I think everybody realizes that they don't have to buy them. What they're scared of is a future where there's not an option to not buy them, right? If some company hits it big on this, then everybody does it. And all of a sudden, every video game costs $60 plus $100 of in-app purchases and all the, like, that's what the fear is. The fear is the slippery slope, and there's definitely one. And there's always, examples to make your own argument in different ways. But the fear is that the whole industry is looking at mobile and going, we should tap into this.
Yeah.
And it's scary, because I think there's a lot of us that just like, I'll pay you more money if you don't do this.
Yes. But that's what I did for Injustice 2. I bought the deluxe edition, which was $100 or $89, and all the DLC was there. So I knew they weren't going to keep, nickel and diming me, saying like, oh, here's this character for another $3, and stupid me, I'm going to buy it because I want it. I was like, hey, I'll just give you the money, just give me the game and all this stuff. Like, do that.
I bought WWE today, and I bought the deluxe one with the pass and all the characters.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, I feel like there's a lot of us that are just like, I just want to pay you for the game that I want to play. However much money you feel like that price needs to be. It's this whole variable price, this whole X price, this sliding scale, at least for me. And I feel like it's not, I bring it up for me, but for me personally, I don't buy those games. Like, I'm not buying Star Wars. I got turned off by this. I'm turned off by Animal Crossing, and I'll still play it, but only because it's free. I'm not, but I'm still turned off with the idea behind the mechanic of how they monetize it. Shadow of War turned me off. Like, I don't typically buy those games when people start going down that path. I'll go play something else. But I feel on Twitter, like, I understand that there's like a legit fear. They're like, am I ever just going to be able to buy Breath of the Wild again? Like, am I ever just going to give you $60 or $80? However, am I ever going to give you the cost of the game and then you leave me alone? Or is this going to be the future of all games? Because it feels like this is the trend. This is the new second screen experience. This is the new motion control. Everybody's doing it, right? Yep. It's a copycat league. Everybody is doing this. We're hearing loot box on everything. Everything has something that you can buy, in addition to you actually ponying up for the game.
Which is crazy, because you think about it, and we all know that they refer to these people as whales, people that'll spend the extra money on the microtransaction stuff on the mobile gaming. So I can understand as a company, you're like, hey, I want to tap into that. I don't miss on that money. But in my mind, especially with the Star Wars, with this game in particular, there is no way the couple whales they're going to get is going to make up for the lack of people buying the game at all.
Sure.
Like, there's no way financially they can recoup that.
And that's why they changed. They didn't change. It was interesting. Here's the funny thing that I've been seeing today. The headline today is, we did it. We did it, gamers.
No, you didn't.
See, we won. We told EA. And it's like, no, you didn't. What it was is they started seeing the cancellations, the pre-orders. They started to notice the wave. They started to lose money. They're going to make a change just to save face, but we haven't won. It's coming back.
It's coming back.
I'm not buying Star
January 1st. January 1st, they're switching it back on. Right after Christmas, everybody's opened their game. They're so pumped. They played it for like 3 days, and boom, guess what? You get no characters.
And it'll it'll probably be better, right? Like, it won't be as egregious, but it's still going to be there.
It's going to be.
And I'm not buying it. Like, I made that decision before all of these changes happened, and I would encourage other people to do so as well if you truly think that. But here's the opposite end of what you said. I think from EA standpoints, they're looking at like, we have Star Wars. People will totally pay more money because they want Luke Skywalker. Like, they look like they think they've got a carrot on a stick. Where the rest of us are like, how can you do that to such a beloved franchise? And they're like, because you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, it's like throwing Mario, Mario Odyssey, but you had to pay to get Mario.
You had to pay for an extra moon before you could get to the next world or something. Like, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Right, so we don't beat this like a dead horse. Last point then, which is worse, what EA's done or Jar Jar Binks?
I brought this up before. I never really had a problem with the prequels. Like, when I watched them as a preteen, and I was just excited to see like Star Wars come back, and like my kids watched them. We watched them all together. They didn't care. I never really heard anybody caring about the prequels. I swear to God, until years after. Like, it wasn't until I was like late high school that became like I would call it like a hipster trend amongst, nerds. But like, when I went to the movie theater and saw it the first time, everybody cheered and liked it. I think people are just so excited to have it. So, I mean, I get in retrospect, the movies definitely don't hold up anymore. Like the animation and whatnot looks poor now, but I'm more upset with what he is doing than Jar Jar. I can live with Jar Jar versus this.
Fair enough.
Imagine if you had to pay them to turn Jar Jar off. If he was there the entire time, unless you gave him more
throwing money at the TV screen. All right. So next question comes from James. What are your guys planning for the Game of the Year awards? So this has been a topic. Obviously, every single gaming podcast and website has to address this in some way, shape, or form. We did a big thing with it last year. Obviously, with our new format, we can't go that same route. So it's still under discussion. So stay tuned. It will be coming soon, whatever we decide to do. We definitely will be doing something, but what that is, we'll have to wait and see. Not because I'm trying to tease you, it's because we literally don't know yet. So we'll put that on hold in the back burner for now. So last question. Donnie, Erica wants to know your favorite flavor for holidays. Eggnog, gingerbread, or peppermint?
You just got to use those 3 options?
Yes.
Gingerbread.
My answer is yes.
Yes.
All 3.
I had a Christmas blend at Starbucks today. Tis the season. Yeah, it's good stuff.
I did have an eggnog latte from Starbucks, so there you go. But no, I love all 3 of those flavors, so I'll go with that. If I had to pick one, if I was forced, I'm probably going peppermint. Love peppermint. Anyway, thank you for the questions. You can always email us at podcast@playsomvideogames and tweet at us at PSVG. Keep them coming. We love answering your questions. Don't have to be gaming related. As you just heard, most of ours this week were not. So that's all good. But let's move on. I don't know if we can call it the news of the week, but I mean, I guess it is. Let's go with it. Let's go with it, Donnie. Let's check into the news of the week. Our only story, for the sake of time, is we're going to talk Black Friday. So obviously, for gamers, this is the time of year where we're supposed to be thinking about giving gifts to others, but instead we're like, how many games can I get on sale? And for my budget, whatever the case is. So we're going to discuss some of the best deals we've seen, whether it be the consoles themselves, if you're looking at upgrading or getting a new console, as well as some of the best deals for games. So actually, let's start before we do that. So Donnie, you've already done some Black Friday shopping. So why don't you tell people what you picked up, if you can remember all of it, and kind of what kind of prices you were looking at, where you got them from. We'll start with that first before we get into the...
Okay. I've been stashing credit. So anybody's listening to the podcast, especially if you've been on our Discord, you've been repeatedly reminded of this probably since E3. Since E3, I've been talking about how I've penciled in games, specifically for Black Friday. These are the games that I'll get to then, and I've been stashing credit. I am a PlayStation Vue subscriber. I also have the PlayStation credit card. And if you have the PlayStation credit card and you subscribe to Vue and you use it for all of your PSN purchases, you earn rewards like hand over fist. So from just having PlayStation Vue since, I think September was the last time I cashed out, I had $80 worth of PSN credit. Yeah, I mean, so like you can really load up fast. I mean, you build those credits fast over there. And I'm not paying crazy amounts for Vue. My Vue subscription is like the lowest tier.
Right.
And then on the Xbox side, I've been trading things in as I've been kind of slimming things down over the last couple months, and I've been converting a lot of it to digital currency. Like when I sold off a lot of my Xbox collection and whatnot to move up to the X, I converted a lot of the extras to digital currency as well. So I came into Black Friday just guns a-blazing, like I'm ready. Let's do some stuff, and I've had some things on the side. So over on Xbox, I did buy Wolfenstein, which was $30 digitally. I did buy Assassin's Creed Origins, which was $35 digitally. I bought the Fable trilogy, which I'm glad that they sell it as a 3-pack. It's not like there's nothing special. It doesn't have like a wrapper or anything. You basically just get the 360 games, but you get Fable Anniversary, the remaster that they released last, Fable 3 and Fable 2, $15.
That's crazy.
All 3 of those games, $5 a piece. Fantastic proposition. When I tweeted about it, we had a couple of folks like, I never played Fable. Like, if you have an Xbox, you should. Like, it's a really, really good game. If nothing else, Fable Anniversary. But the Anniversary by itself is on sale, and it's $10. So you might as well pay the $15 and get the other 2.
Yeah, totally.
So I got those. Tales from the Borderlands is Games of Gold. So I went ahead and threw that into the queue as well. Did I get anything else? I don't know if I got anything else on Xbox or not. I don't even remember.
I don't think so. I think that's everything you mentioned.
Yeah, I got WWE 2K18 today. It went on sale. And a little let down by this Black Friday pre-sale sale over on the PSN.
Yeah, it's a bummer because I was hoping that it was going to be like the same deals that Xbox had, because as it stands, I would have bought Wolfenstein 2 right then and there. I was waiting for it to go up, and it didn't. Assassin's Creed is on there, but it's 41, I think. So for me, I can wait on Assassin's Creed. I definitely want to play it. That's definitely on my list, but I can wait till it drops at this point. And then South Park was also kind of taunting me a little bit, but that was still a 41 for the new one too. But yeah, I was bummed because I'm hoping though, because they're calling it a early access pre Black Friday sale thing that ends on the 21st. I'm hoping that the big sale hits on Black Friday, but it's kind of jerky that, Microsoft's already doing it, man. Just do it because you're just missing out. Anybody that has multiple consoles like yourself, they may say, okay, I want this one on Xbox, this one on PlayStation, but at this point, it's like, well, I'll just get them all on Xbox. I don't blame you.
Absolutely. The other game that I did buy on the Xbox that I forgot about was Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, that's right.
I got for $20.
Yeah.
So, and that's Xbox One X enhanced, and it runs a lot better apparently. Watching the Digital Foundry video that came up today. So, and that's one that I've had on the queue for a while. Like, I'm going to get to this eventually. So I threw that in there. The ones that I'm still hunting for, I'm not done. I have enough games to play until March, but I still have a list that I'm after. And the ones that I'm excited for, and I'm holding out at the moment because some of these are still on sale for Xbox, but I kind of penciled them into my PSN credit. I'm holding out for Life is Strange Before the Storm.
I think it's fair. Yeah.
I really enjoyed Life is Strange Season 1 for the first 2.5 episodes. And then it really grew, and I didn't like how it ended, and I didn't like the last couple episodes, but I liked the art style and the story enough that I'd give it another try. It's $25. Xbox has it on sale for $16. If it drops to $16 on PSN, I'll bite. I want a Hob, which is like this Zelda-like game over on PSN. I want Hellblade. I've been having that on there for a while. Hellblade, $30 right out of the gate, so it's not even that expensive. But if I get it for 24 or 18 or 15, and then Next Machina is the other game that I have over there on the PSN, kind of just check marked, ready to go as soon as some of these sales pop. I'm with you. I wish they would have went a little faster with theirs. I'm also getting Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2 on Switch. It's $20 at Best Buy. As soon as their Black Friday sales go for online shopping, I'm going to get one of those. And I have not seen one, but if there is one, I'd like to get Pokken for Christmas and put it under the tree.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea.
But I haven't seen it go on sale. And I did pick up you might laugh. You may want to ask me why, but I did pick up Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I got the double pack. I traded in my son's copy of Pokemon Moon, which he's not playing anymore. And I got $17 for it, and then with the GSU over at Best Buy, like the double pack was down to like 63. So the 63 minus the 17 brought me down to like 40. So I basically got both for the price of one.
No, that's I always figured you were going to get it anyway, and a deal like that, you didn't do anything wrong there. That was a good deal. So
I mean, I really think it's the best Pokemon game ever made, and if they made the new one better, even if it's still a lot of the same story, if it's better, I mean, I'm down to dabble around with it again. I've got no qualms against. I know Q does. We were talking in the chat earlier, and he was like, "This is ridiculous. It's the same game."
But see, what I've read, it's not the same game that they've added stuff.
Yeah,
so
I've read a lot. It's not. So what it sounds like is like the first 15 hours. So like the story was like 25, 30 hours. So the first half, basically the same. Like they changed some Pokemon, they changed some gyms, but basically the exact same story.
Right.
Then you hit the climax, and then it completely changes.
Right. That's what I've heard. So I'm like, yeah, they got to do something to keep people on the hook.
Then there's a whole brand new post game, and from the reviews that I'm reading, I'm almost really intrigued because all of them are like, we won't spoil it for you, but they're like, but it's completely different. They're like, it's way out of left field. And I have seen that there's new modes, there's new Pokemon. So the way that I'm kind of thinking about it in my head is it's kind of like a definitive edition, or like a gold edition. Like the 3DS can't receive patches. Like they can't patch in like DLC expansions or anything like that. So it kind of like seems like that's kind of what this is.
Well, they can. Look at what they did with Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I guess
That was a huge change for that game that they just gave away.
Completely different scale.
Well, yeah,
they added in this little campground that you went to with a load screen between the two. We're talking about, like, apparently in Pokemon, there was a completely separate second half of the game.
I'm just saying it can be done. They could do it.
But you know what's interesting about that debate? Because a lot of people are like, it's the same game. Why are people buying it? And I don't feel like those folks are Pokemon fans. Because if you're a fan of Pokemon, the game, literally just having new Pokemon would be worth it.
Right.
And it really would. And there are Pokemon fans that totally gonna buy it just because there's new Pokemon. There's new Pokemon I couldn't get before. Totally gonna buy a new one. So I mean, yeah, to each their own. I'm not gonna like rip it open and play it as soon as I get it, but I am kind of excited to go see what it is, and it's a really, really good game. So
all right, so before we dive into the game highlights for Black Friday, let's talk about the console. So anybody looking to do some console shopping?
Yeah, you can get one of those sweet deals on that Switch, $299. If you can find one.
There is no deals on Switches, so we'll start with that. But if you're in the market for a PS4, if you don't already have one, the PS4 Slim 1 terabyte, pretty much across the board, is going to be about $200, which is a full $100 less than what you typically would have paid for it. With the exception of Costco, you can save an extra $10 and it's $190 on Black Friday. But you can do that. There's also a bundle at Costco that will include online only for Costco. Includes Call of Duty World War II and Destiny 2 games for $290. So not a bad deal there as well. With Kohl's and GameStop, you get gift cards with your purchases of the PS4 at that rate too. So good deals there. The bigger deals we're seeing. Actually, before that, PS4 Pro, the only place marketing as of right now is GameStop, and it's only $50 off. So it drops it to $350 if you're looking to pick that up. So not a huge deal, but it's something. The Xbox One S, which I think we're going to see a lot more of these units sold this holiday season than previously. Basically, there's a lot of different deals out there, but 190 is kind of the benchmark we're seeing, with Microsoft Store kind of giving probably the best deal. I think 190, you get a free Ubisoft game of your choice and a 1 month Xbox Game Pass as well.
That's nice.
Yeah, so that's a good deal. But then like Kohl's has 190, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, all your big ones will have it for 190, which is a good deal. A couple different bundles out there, but I think when you look at what's offered in most of these bundles, you're probably just better off picking up the unit for 190 and then getting what you want, as opposed to, paying extra and then getting, Shadow of War jammed at you if you don't want that, or Minecraft or something like that. So it's all good.
It makes me feel better about selling mine.
Yeah.
I did. I popped at the right time.
Yeah, you did. You totally did. As predicted. So the one deal nobody cares about. So while there's no Switch deals, hey, guess what? The Nintendo 2DS Zelda edition will be $80 for that really ugly console.
It's true. It is ugly. It's a terrible console. Here's a funny thing. Are you looking at the picture?
Yep.
Tell me if you agree or disagree with this statement. If they didn't put Link on it, but they put the Minecraft guy on it, and they called it the Minecraft 2DS.
I was thinking more Koopa Troopa 2DS.
Oh no!
But I can totally see
Minecraft
the yellow.
Huge.
But yeah, but there's no yellow.
There is. The buttons are yellow.
No, in Minecraft, is there yellow?
The back is brown. Yeah. It's like the whole earth tone thing.
Okay, I always thought it was like green and black and brown, but okay.
So anyway, I've always thought that, but I will tell you this: I bet that 2DS sells well.
Oh well. Oh, totally will.
Pokemon.
Yep.
There's a Pokemon game out, an $80 console for it to sell with. And remember the last time Pokemon came out with a 2DS? That thing was the hardest thing to find ever because everybody wanted Pokemon at, and $80 is so cheap. It's like the
crazy deal.
SNES, man. You just buy it. $80, sure. There's no thought to that. It's so cheap to get in. I can see people popping for that Christmas presents.
Totally. If for some crazy reason you're like Kyle or Coach Mo and you want to get into the PSVR, best deal for that, Target, $200 for the. Actually, it's kind of weird though. So it only is the helmet for $200. Yeah, so if you have Move controllers already, you're good. If you have the PS camera, you're good. But if you want the real experience, the one that has Skyrim VR included, comes with the camera and the PS Move controllers, that'll run you $350. So still not a bad deal when you think about what you're getting, but clearly that's not for everybody. So we're not even gonna try and say like that's a must buy. But if you're interested, it's probably a good deal to pull the trigger on finally at this point, because I'm not sure It's not going away, so I don't think it's gonna get much cheaper.
Also, remember that if you bought one already, you have the older model, and they've made improvements to it, so it'd be a good time to upgrade, sell, and get the new one.
Very, very true. All right, so let's get into some games. So since Nintendo got no love, let's go to Nintendo first.
They don't do Black Friday very well.
Yeah, they don't.
Did you see the eBay? Did you see the tweet that I posted from eBay last night?
No.
Oh, so they put up Nintendo's eBay store, put up a deal, a sale. I think it was like 10% off. Mario Superstar Smash Tennis, whatever that Wii U tennis game is.
Oh God.
With a Bowser amiibo and a Toad amiibo. $36. That's their doorbuster.
So basically, it's like a free game when you buy the amiibos. Is that what you're saying? Because those are probably worth more. Oh man, that's crazy. All right, so let's run down this list. The highlights here. I think the biggest one on the list: Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, $30 at Walmart. If you are a Switch owner and you have not played this game, just do it. Just do it now. You don't even have to go to the store. Just order it on Walmart.com. It's going to be $30. Rayman Legends is going to be $20 at GameStop. That's also a great deal. What else on here? Disgaea? Is that how you pronounce it?
Disgaea.
Okay, Disgaea 5. Huge discount there. Only $20. I've never seen it anywhere remotely close to that at Best Buy or Target. And if you're interested, I'm still not sure how it would run on the Switch personally, but Batman, the Telltale series, will be only $20 at GameStop. So if you're interested, do it. Those are probably the highlights for me. So yeah, I haven't seen anything as far as like Pokken, Mario Odyssey obviously is on sale. You know, Breath of the Wild is on sale. Those games don't need to be at this point, so they're not going to. It's Nintendo's first holiday season, so before people start whacking and saying, "Well, Zelda's been out since March," yeah, but number one, Nintendo games very rarely go on sale when they're first party, and two, this is their first holiday season. They don't need to discount a darn thing at all to sell units, so they'll have no problem moving Breath of the Wild and Mario all holiday season.
It'll be interesting to keep up with and keep tabs on how well Switch is selling through the holiday, considering that they don't have a bundle.
Yeah.
If they can still, if November, December NPD rolls around and they're still the top hardware, then at that point I would officially come over and go, Nintendo has a serious hit on their hands. Like if at that price with no discounts and no bundles and no specials, if they're still selling out and they're beating Xbox One S in units, and PS4 in unit, that's insane.
Especially when you look at that, once these Black Friday deals hit, the Switch is the most expensive home console you can buy, other than the Xbox One X or the PS4 Pro. But it's priced more than the PS4 and the Xbox One S will be. So it's
right.
It's kind of crazy to think that they're going to sell a ton of units anyway, which I'm sure they will. All right, so we're running short on time, so let's run down the list to games that are cross-platform. So PS4 and Xbox One, Assassin's Creed Origins you can get for $30 at Walmart. $35 you'll be able to pick it up at Best Buy or Target. So if you're kind of shopping around there too, Call of Duty World at War II, typical you normally see for this time of year, you get it $40 at Best Buy. You know, a little bit of a discount there. Destiny 2, $27 at GameStop or $30 at Target, Walmart, or Best Buy. Evil Within 2 only gonna be $25 at Best Buy or GameStop. That's a great deal, I think, for a game.
I got that last week at GameStop.
Did you? How much did you pay for it?
$25. They had the pre-sale for Pro members. I got Dishonored 2 and the Evil Within 2 for they were 20 and 25, and Doom. I got Doom for 20, Dishonored 2 for 20, and Evil Within 2 for 25.
So, I mean, those are great prices, and that's on both of our list, Evil Within 2. So I'm going to look in to see if I can get that for 25 or 30 was the digital sale. I think Xbox was doing, so I'd do it that way too, to not have to deal with the Black Friday, crowds. $15 for Final Fantasy at Target, $20 at Best Buy, Walmart, or GameStop, as we talked about before. Let's see, Injustice 2, as we told on this game, on the show numerous times, billing $14, which is great. Overwatch Game of the Year edition is going to be $30 at all the major retailers. Prey, I kind of forgot about this one. $20 at Walmart and GameStop. That's another one I need to pick up. Resident Evil 7, $15 at Target or $20 at Walmart or Best Buy. South Park, $30 at Target or Walmart. Watch Dogs 2, $12 at Walmart. It's a little bit older now. And then Wolfenstein 2, $25 for the new Colossus at Best Buy, GameStop. $30 at Walmart or Target. So you can kind of mix and match where you want to shop and kind of hit up everywhere. Now for console exclusives, so we'll kind of run through just the big ones here. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy PS4, $25 at Best Buy or Toys R Us. Horizon Zero Dawn, if you haven't picked it up yet, $20 at Best Buy or Walmart. Persona 5, $30. That's a great deal on that game. There's a lot of content there. Nier Automata, $25, Best Buy or GameStop. And it's probably it for the big ones, I think, here. We've seen kind of these other sales. Then Xbox One, Forza Motorsport 7 will be $30.
That's a good deal.
That's
a great deal. Came out.
Yep. And Gears of War 4, if you haven't pulled the trigger, or if you're buying a new Xbox One S,
dude,
Gears of War 4, $15.
Dude,
that's
Gears,
a good deal.
I said this in the Discord, but I want to say it on the podcast so anybody that doesn't come to the Gears 4 on Xbox One X was insane. Insane. Watching that thing run at a locked 60, it's game changing. It makes it feel like you're playing a different game. It's crazy good.
Good. So that wraps it up for the Black Friday wrap up. So we hope we kind of gave you a sneak preview there, and you can organize your gaming funds, sell your youngest child, maybe donate blood for money, hit the sperm bank, whatever you want to do. Really,
just some leaves, cut some grass.
There you go. Get your kids to do it. Tip their piggy bank, whatever you got to do. But there's some great deals, especially if you're not the type of gamer that buys everything, day one or week one. If you've waited a little bit, this is the time of year it pays off. And who knows, if you've been a good boy or girl this year, maybe Santa Claus will put something under the tree for you there. But yeah, so that wraps up the show for this week, everybody. But before we go, quick check-in, Donnie. Where can people find you? Anything else you'd like to plug?
No, you can check me out on Twitter at Playin Nintendo. You can catch me over on the Nintendo Shack on Thursday nights. We live stream, talk about all those Nintendo things. We had a fun show last night, so definitely go check it out if you haven't already downloaded it into your podcast feed. The one thing I'm going to start plugging, asking folks, is that folks, be nice, tell a friend. We see that we have a really good, strong base, like the same folks that listen to the show every week. We see that in our numbers. So, maybe now that we're in like 2 years or so, maybe tell a friend. Retweet us, tweet at us, let us know. Just tell your friends about us. That it goes a long way. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we definitely do, and that's something that's very important. If you want us to keep, not that we're going to quit if we don't get more listeners, not like that at all, but we like seeing more people enjoy it. I mean, why not pay it forward if it's something you dig and one person that might dig it as well? Tell them to give us a shot if you like it. So we appreciate that. Make sure you hit up the website, playsomevideogames.com. Of course, facebook.com/playsomevideogames, youtube.com/playsomevideogames. We mentioned the Twitter, the email address. Won't plug that. You can follow me if for some weird reason you like to. I tweet weird stuff and weird games, and everybody kind of shuns me for it. At PSVG Kevin. Only plug I'm going to do, as we mentioned earlier, Battle Chef Brigade. There will be a review cast for that featuring myself and Chef Justin Warner coming back to do a little work with us. Because, why not? When I saw this game and it was a chef-inspired game, I said, I wonder if I can contact Adult Swim and make this happen. Talked to Justin and I said, hey, Justin, if I can make this happen, do you win? He's like, absolutely, dude. So it's happening. So we're recording that a couple days from when we're live streaming this. But check it out. Let us know what you think, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. But most importantly, whether you're out fighting the crowds in Black Friday or you're enjoying a nice Thanksgiving dinner, we simply ask that you guys to never stop gaming.